In this video, we're covering functions. So functions is usually a relation between a set of ordered pairs. And those pairs usually we say are x and y. All right, so x usually is our controlled variable, our independent variable. We control it, we change what it is. And then y is what we call our dependent variable. It changes depending on what we say x is. So we have different types of relations. So these are, the first one is a one-to-one. So if we have x and y here, and then we have a set of x values like 1, 2, 3, 4, then we have a set of y values over here. A one-to-one is for every one x, there is a set y value. So in this case, when x is 1, y is 1. When x is 2, y is 2. One-to-one. The next one we have over on the right is one-to-many. So again, if we have x and y, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A one-to-many means for every one value of x, there is a potential to be two values of y. So in this case, when x is 1, it could be 1, y could be 1, and y could be 2. When x is 3, y could be 3, y could be 4. All right, that's what we call a one-to-many. Now, these all have different, whether they're a function or not a function. So a one-to-one is a function, and a one-to-many is not a function. The next one we have down here is many-to-one. Here we go. And many-to-one means many things can go to one thing. So in this case, we have when x is 1 or 2, it equals y equals 1. Okay? And last one over here, many-to-many, x and y. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Many-to-many means one could go over here, one could go here, this could go up here, this could go over here, and same thing here. 3 could go up there. So there's lots of crosses everywhere. Now, with this, it's important to note if it ends in 2-1 or 2-1, it is a function. If it ends in too many or too many over here, it is not a function. That is the trick. If it ends in 2-1, function. If it ends in too many, not a function. All right, so a function, if I didn't overload you there, is just a special type of relation where for every x, it has a unique value of y. All right, so when x is 1, y is 1. Okay, now you may have heard of this before, but when we're talking about something called the domain is all the sets of values for x. So whatever the value that this exists for, that is an x value, that's your domain. Same with range, but range is y. So we have two functions here. In this case, our domain, we're looking at this way and this way, because those are our x values. And we're saying, well, a parabola doesn't necessarily end. So our domain here would be from negative infinity to infinity. Okay. Now, range is this way and this way, because that's our y values. In this case, it doesn't go on to negative infinity. It actually stops at 0 there. So our range here would be from 0 to infinity, because it'll just keep going up and never stop. If we look at the next one over here, it's a straight line. And again, remember, if we're dealing in this terms, this is our domain, because that's our x values. It would be from negative infinity to infinity. And then again, if we're dealing with our y values here, that's our range. And in this case, it also goes from negative infinity to infinity. So what I'm saying is that line continues to go all the way down, and then it goes all the way up. So it's going from negative infinity to infinity. And that's the same with the x. The vertical line test. So the vertical line test is a special tool that we use if we have a graph and we've been told, is this a function or not a function? It'll tell us whether it is or isn't. So if you have some sort of vertical line, so let's say we have a ruler and I hold it up like this, and I can go back left and right. So we're going to go from the left and we're going to go across to the right. Now, anytime the red line touches the ruler, if it touches only once, so as you can see there, the red is only touching my ruler at one point or continuously the whole way across. If that happens, it's a function. If I go over to this one, now the red line is touching the ruler at 2 spots, it is not a function. Alright, so again, if I go over here and I go from left to right, the red line's touching the ruler at 1 spot, so it is a function. If I go over here and go from left to right, it's touching at 2 spots, so not a function. So we would say that this is a function, and this is not a function. Now, another tool we can use is what we call the horizontal line test. Now, you only do this one after you've already done the vertical. So the vertical will tell us, yes, it's a function, no, it's not a function. What the horizontal line test does is tell us if it is a one-to-one function or a many-to-one function, okay? So this time, I've turned the ruler to the horizontal, and we're looking at the left one now, the left parabola. As I'm going from the bottom to the top, we can see that it's touching at 2 spots. So we call that a many-to-one, okay? And then if we go over here, we look at the one on the right, it's going up. It's only, the red line's only touching at 1 spot. So that is a 1-to-1 function.